Morning and welcome to Leo's Little Budget. My name is Leo and this is my cash budgeting channel. It is Sunday the 2nd of March, which means that I have just been paid. I am paid by my PAYE job on the 28th of every month, and this is the first pay that I've had since starting my cash budgeting channel. Or the first pay for my hospitality job, which is my PAYE job. I've mentioned before that I have an inconsistent income. I have a job in hospitality, which is my PAYE job, which my hours vary from month to month. I have a small self-employed business, which I'm hoping to be able to get back to a point which is my full-time income again. And I also have a third job, which is sort of a once-a-week thing, where I go and help somebody out as and when needed. As part of that third one, I also have my own little thing once a month as well, which is a guaranteed income every month. So my money comes from 3 places and it varies from month to month. This is my first PAYE paycheck, like I've just said. So this, for me, covers paying off all of my personal debt. This paycheck also covers money that I send to my husband for our household. I send him £300 every month towards the household. And then I pay for my children's sports out of it as well. Both of my children are in team sports. One's in competitive cheer, which is not the cheapest sport to be involved in, but she is very good. And my son plays football. So I always pay for sports. This channel is purely for my personal budgeting. It doesn't involve the household. My husband is self-employed and he has his money set up in a way that already works for him. This is about me and me getting my own personal debt down and paid off. I'd like to have paid all of my debt off by the summer of 2027. And hopefully this budgeting channel will help me to keep on track with that. I am finding already that it makes me more mindful of what I am spending. It's silly things like I worked out all of my card payments the other day, and before this would have been any excuse for me to have gone and bought out a new notebook. I love stationery, it's my weakness. But rather than doing that and going, oh, it's for this, I like justifying it to myself, I've managed to not do that, and I've just found an old notebook, taken all the old pages out. It is only a thin one. It probably won't take me long to use it up, but it's a little change that the cash stuffing is definitely doing for me in the right direction. Today, I am going to be doing sort of a reverse stuffing, sort of. I pay all of my debt digitally. So on Friday I had 5 credit cards. I now only have 4 credit cards. But what I'm going to do, because I want to see that physical thing of the cash in front of me, is every month when I make payments, I'm going to stuff the payment that I made into a folder. So I've got a nice new little binder that I'm going to start. It's the same sort of size as my month ahead / emergency fund one. And I've got my little mini folders to put my place cards in and stuff it that way so that I can keep track of it. And I think one of the most sobering things that I found that's really pushed me into cash stuffing as well is when you look at your credit card health, there's often a bit in the back end of it which will show you, if you're only paying the minimum payments off, how long it will take you to pay your credit card off if you weren't to spend on it either. And I would implore anybody to go and have a look at that, especially if you're sort of struggling with paying your debt off. It really will give you a kick up the behind, I think. I haven't spent on my credit cards, bar one, in which I bought a laser printer for my small business, just so that it was the safety of having being able to get a refund easily if I needed to. I haven't spent on my credit cards in over a year, so we are starting to see these totals coming down. Like I just said, I started this month with 5 credit cards. I'm ending this month with 4. I managed to get a balance transfer card, which was a 0% balance transfer at a much better rate than, or much better interest rate than one of my credit cards was already on. So I've transferred the balance from that one over, and I've transferred the balance for my smallest credit card over to that as well. Now, before doing that balance transfer, I paid off more than the minimum from that card. So the minimum payment from that card, there's £180.63 left on it. The minimum payment was £9.70 and I paid £20. On top of that, I also paid off another £14.50. That £14.50 has come from my small business. Every Monday, my small business is an apparel-based shop and it's on Etsy. And I have changed my payments from daily to weekly. And it's making quite a big difference. When that payment goes in on the Monday, the first thing I do is put my wholesale order in. My wholesale order is always made in cash, and so I pay that first, and then with the remaining money I split it in 3 ways. 50% of that remaining money goes straight into my Monzo account towards debt repayments. 25% of that goes into my month ahead binder, and 25% of it then goes to myself as cash so that I've got some spending money for the week. The money that I put into my debt payment pot, I then save for the month, and at the end of the month when I do all of my credit card payments, I also pay that extra on top. It wasn't a massive amount this month, it was only £29.10. It's been quite a quiet month on there, but I also haven't put a whole lot of time and energy into it because I've had a lot going on at my PAYE job as well. So I managed to pay £34.50 off of that balance before I've then transferred it onto the other credit card. So we now only have 4 cards. We have our Pulse card, a Zabel card, an Asda card, and our Virgin card. My priority debt for those 4 cards is my Pulse card because it was my highest one at £2,034.65, and it is also my highest interest rate. This month from that card, and we're going to start with that, I'm going to pop them in priority order into this, is we paid off £100. Our minimum payment was £77.88, but we paid off £100. I believe I've got a £100 tracker here. But on top of that, we also paid £14.50 on that as well. So I split those 2 extra payments, I split that extra money that I had into 2 payments. Now, I don't have placeholders for pound coins and 50p, so I'm going to put the full £15 in, and I will pay the extra 50p off as well, so that I've paid the extra £15. So this month we've paid off £115 from our top priority debt. Now these cards and these wallets currently don't have labels on them, mostly because I haven't been home a massive amount. But I wanted to get this video done anyway, so next time we do this, these will be labelled, but they are going to be in priority order in my binder. So that was my first one. My second one was my Asda card, which had a minimum payment of £24.23. However, we have paid off £60 this month. And that covers so this is the one that I balance transferred onto, and that covers the amount for the balance transfer itself, because you always have to pay a minimum payment of £3 or 3%. So that covers that, a little bit more, and how much and the actual minimum payment. So that's that one. Second one is Zabel. Now Zabel is the only one this month so far that I have only paid the minimum payment on. The minimum payment on this, so the total balance I owe at the moment was £504.72. The minimum payment on this is £20 because you set a minimum payment up that you want to pay at the point that you get the card. And the minimum I have paid this month is £20. But paying that £20 off does mean that we now have a new front figure. and the total outstanding balance on this one currently is £484.72. And then card number 4, the minimum payment on this card, this is my Virgin card, was £47.32. However, this month we have paid off £55, and I have just realised that I don't think I have another £5 placeholder laminated yet. Okay, so I've got a couple here that I haven't laminated yet. So what I will do, if I can find my scissors, is I will just chop this one up. I will slip it in, and then that'll be the next thing that I get laminated. So that is our credit cards for this month. It is actually quite nice to see that that's down to 4 from 5. I know somebody commented on one of my other videos about getting the dopamine win from paying off one of the smaller ones as well. But I think moving it over was the smarter move, because this new card has a lower interest rate, and despite the fact that it was less than £200 that was on that card, the smaller interest rate, the better, I think. I might be wrong, I'm still learning. We'll see how we go. Then our final 2 debt payments for the month. I have 2 PayPal credit accounts. One is from a few years ago when I was in a shop for the month of Christmas. And looking back, it's something that I shouldn't have done, shouldn't have been in the shop. It cost way more than I realised it was going to. But it is what it is. The damage is done, and now we're... So my first PayPal credit account currently has a balance of £339.93. The minimum payment on that was £13.46, but we have paid £20. So that's another one. And then the final one is my second PayPal credit account. This is a personal one, and the balance currently stands at £291.25 before I've made my payment. My minimum payment on this was £11.62. However, we paid £20 off of this one as well. But on top of that, I also have an Askable account, and this was a month where I finally got a survey to do. So £5, I got £5 from answering that survey. It pays straight into my PayPal account. This is the PayPal account that it pays into, so I've paid that straight off. So again, we've got another bonus 5. So the amount we've paid off of this one this month is £25. I probably should have done that the other way, and the £5, the extra £5 probably should have been paid off the other one. But it sort of made more sense to keep it in the one that it had already been paid into, because it meant that I didn't have to do the transfer over. But it is what it is. That PayPal One account means that I think next month, after next month's payment, that will have a new front number as well, which is quite nice to see. And if I can make a bonus payment on that one next month to make sure that it definitely does, then I will do. So that is our new little debt tracker wallet. I am going to do a little tracker to go in the front of this as well. So yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4 credit card payments and 1, 2 PayPal credit payments. I think it's going to feel now like a really long time between doing this video and the next one. But it is nice to know that sort of every week money is going away for debt payments. But it seems silly to put that away weekly, or pay it off weekly, I mean, when it's better off sitting in my Monzo account, because there's a 3.35% interest rate on it. So it might as well earn the additional pennies for me. But yeah, so that's where we're at for this month. we've managed to make more than the minimum payment on every single one of our debts so far this month, bar the one where we have made the minimum. So that feels quite good. And the fact that we've managed to also balance transfer as well. So yes, that is where I'm going to leave you for today. I've got another video to film quite quickly after this because I have just finished one of my coin saving challenges. So I'm going to do a quick video doing that. It will be a really quick finishing filling in my tracker and then reallocating it. It's only a £20 one, but £20 into other places is £20 into other places. So yes, I have been Lel's Little Budget.